Hello everyone, this has been a very busy day of videos, hasn't it? So apology for that if you're getting more than you bargained for today. But Sheffield Wednesday manager Henrick had been speaking to the press, and the word that he uses a lot in these, and it's mirror, and I love it. I love it as a phrase. I think it's brilliant. But Henrick, we've got spoke about bio, so he's got a dead leg. They'll see how he tomorrow, but they have no injuries. He confirmed that everyone will get paid tomorrow. He's had confirmation by DC. He doesn't know if it's going to happen again. All he knows is that it's all confirmed that they are getting paid this week. This month, sorry. They're getting paid on Friday. The FL haven't given them any idea what's going to be happening with transfer window at the minute. They're still trying to do stuff. They're still trying to get people through the door if they can once everything's lifted. And it's just the same information we've had already. Now, one of the questions that got asked was, do you think you're going to be able to keep players? And he's confident that he's going to be able to keep players on Monday. He said he's getting closer to getting coaching staff in, having to talk to other clubs to get them kind of out, which makes me say we're looking at people who are already in jobs and going from there. And it's one of those things where he's like talking about it and trying to get it all sorted. Now, they spoke to Jamal Lowe midweek and they understood the situation of players, what's going on with the club, why they're doing it, why it's happening, why the protests are happening. They're meant to be having a teddy bear protest on Saturday where they're throwing teddy bears onto the pitch. Now, apparently, he doesn't want it to disturb the game, but it will do. But he had no idea what's going on with that. He just hopes it doesn't disturb the game. And then when he said to start talking about the Swansea game, he said, something I want to talk about, which I get it. He's not trying to poke too much about it. He understands it. He understands it. The players understand it. He said, what kind of game will it be versus Swansea? He said they've got a lot of style. They've got players who are really good. They're quite intensive. And they've seen how they get on versus other clubs recently. And it's what they've won about matching and see how they can get on. They want to build momentum going forward, which is good to see some of the good young lads getting in there. It's good for their experience and it'll help them move forward as well, which is one thing they've got to do. But he does turn around and say it's not about just playing the one game. It's about playing the next game and then how you learn from it, how you do from it. It's about not dwelling on things when you take it as an experience. It's about keep building it. And the under-21s, the more they get into that, more it'll be better for them. He's starting to think they can play in the first team and try and get the group gelling, but we're going to have a lot more youth team players because of the lack of people needing to be in the squad because we can't sign people. And that is a big thing at the minute. Because we can't sign people, we're going to have to use a lot of youth. He spoke about the keeper on... again, Leeds and again, Wrexham. He did say probably a little bit shaky versus Wrexham, but then he did brilliant in the game versus Leeds. It's just about him trying to just get used to it, get used to new people coming in and doing the job and trying to build his confidence up as well. And trying to see how he can improve and how he can improve the team. Alex Miller said, the togetherness with these players is all about perfecting how you look into things. Senior players have helped a lot. How they've been able to use their energy to help some of the younger lads and see the culture they're trying to build. They're trying to build something where they can try and get things in the right place and right direction. And it's about having that culture set and about having all the right things from top to bottom in the playing squad to try and do things. Drop the F-bomb a couple of times in this, which I found really interesting. But one of the things that I do like about him, he's always speaking about the human side of it and the football side. So it's about being a positive human. It's about going to the masseuse and like getting a rub down and not having an attitude. If they don't have a bad attitude, then you're trying to sort things out that way as well. He said having Baz in the team is huge because he said, what's it like having Baz in and outside of it? It and he said if he wasn't in, it'd be bad. But I've got to admit, he's right about something, though. He's right about how Baz seems to be becoming a bit better of a leader. You saw it at the end of the Wrexham game. He was going to people, talking to them, speaking to Ola Kabachi about how he could do this, how he could improve that. Baz is starting to have that kind of... You can see a mini on the ball coach at times with what Henrick has said. So let's do this, let's do that instead. And it kind of got it, and it seems like he's becoming a better leader now. And I kind of would agree with that. I think we're starting to see a Baz with better leader qualities. Cad's loaned it in the world of good. It got him to be better in how he improved his development. It also got him to improve the human and how he's able to give a lot more to the team. But he spoke about how Neil Thompson was really good at giving us the information about how he was getting on when he was on loan and how they managed to work together to build things. Spoke about McNeil as well, how good he's been so far starting. He knows that he needs to do so much work before he's starting, and he got to be consistent with it. But he also turned around and said, you can see he's starting to do that. He's come back in the summer, he's been a lot better, he's set high standard to himself. Charlie, one of the best finishers at the club, he said, and he's setting those high standards, but he come back in the summer with a bit more of a different attitude and how to play. Charles, they don't know how long he's going to be. He's going to have surgery tomorrow, which was the reason we brought in the keeper. Surgery ain't good. Means they've got to go do some digging and find out what it is. Until he's had the surgery, they'll know a bit more afterwards. So good luck to the surgery, Charles. And hopefully it goes well. It's not as bad as we first think. Hunt is still training at the club, which is interesting. Apologies, it's been a long day already. I've been up since like 5-ish, and Little one's been mad running around like a blue bottom fly. They said, spoke about if the restrictions are lifted, what happened could and how it could be. Said they've got a list that's ready to go, loans and frees and everything like that. But one list can be right today. The next day that list could be have half a year list the players gone. So they're going to see what happens if they can do anything come Monday. It might be a busy Monday, so bear that in mind. And he wants to see if they can find the right player, but they can do frees. They know they can do frees in after the window, so it could be that you might go get some frees in. He spoke to Joe Cran. He spoke about how he wants to see more actions and how they try and not let the players dwell on top, but how they learn from it and use it as an experience of it, not like, oh, I've made a mistake, god damn it. It's more, I made a mistake, how do I improve from that mistake? How do I not do that mistake again? How do I get it going forward? Really crucial for the youngsters as well when it's going forward. McGee called him a tactical genius. He said it was nice to hear that from players and there's a mutual respect there, and that's all he's going to say on that. But he's not one to talk about himself, keeps it about him. What kind of coaches he wanted to bring, and it's basically a good keeper with some experience in this league, a defensive striking coach, maybe some former players in there as well that can help on the side that he's not had there. And it's all about having a mirror. It's all about having a mirror from the under-21s, from the 13 to under-21. So you'll have maybe Andy and Jal come up, do a couple of days, then go back to the under-21s and do some stuff at the under-21s and show them what they're doing in the first team. And so when they come up, it's not as hard as it goes on. It's one of those things where you look at it and it's really good to see trying to get it right. He has turned around and said that they don't see any player going out on loan, which we completely understand. We can't afford to have any players leave. So that's the kind of thing, no players are going to go. And he spoke about how important Chris Waddle has been with his experience, how nice a bloke he is, and just how to have that sounding board. It's been lovely to have. We know how good Chris is and how Chris is very close to the club and how just having that relationship and that friendship helps move forward, which is what he's been wanting to try and do. But yeah, really good presser by Henrick. You can see when he gets animated, he bangs the table and he's really passionate. I love it. I love how Henrick speaks. I love how Henrick is approaching things. So it's interesting to see, but let's see what happens at net. But at the end of the day, they're just going to keep doing what they're doing and start building. If we can get 3 points on the board, that puts us on 4. But we need to start building and trying to get as many points as humanly possible. Because if we are going to get a point deduction at some point, whatever points we got, it needs to be in the positives and not the negatives, so we can try and just not have that as the big thing. So yeah, it's interesting. We'll see what happens. So yeah, interesting.